everyone. I've got a big haul today, a lot of books, including a handful of new art books and fanzines, and some merch. As usual, I'll have timestamps below, and I'm going to go through all of my non-BL first, my books and my merch, and then I'm going to go through my BL merch, comics, and novels. At the end of the video, I'm going to have all of my MDZS stuff. After I finished the series last month, I went on a little shopping spree to get more MDZS stuff for my collection, so I'll share all of that at the end of the video. But I'm going to get right into the haul now. First is Solo Leveling Ragnarok Volume 1. So this is an upcoming release. It releases July 21st, and it's the first volume of a new series that is a spin-off of the series Solo Leveling. Here's a little blurb on the back. I actually have not read this yet because I wanted to wait until I could read both of the side story volumes of Solo Leveling and then get into this one because I believe this one follows the next generation. So I'll be looking forward to getting into this one and seeing what kind of story it's going to be compared to Solo Leveling. It does have a different writer-artist team from Solo Leveling and the side stories, so I'm curious if I'm going to really notice that while I'm reading. But I have really enjoyed Solo Leveling, so I'm expecting I'm going to enjoy this as well. Next is the first release of Ashi, the first omnibus, which is volumes 1, 2, and 3 of this soccer series. Along with Haikyuu, Ashi is one of my favorite sports series. I watched the anime for the first season when it was airing a few years ago, and after the first episode, I really loved the story and fell in love with the characters. So I ran to read the manga and caught up on the series, and it has since completed at 40 volumes. And through its release, I was collecting the volumes in Japanese. So when this was announced last year that it would be printed and released this year, I was so excited to have it in print in English, and I've been so eager to see what the design of the omnibus would look like because of the 3 volumes, like which cover would they choose and if they would feature the other illustrations. So this is the volume 2 cover of the Japanese release. There's more that's cut off in the background in the Japanese release, and then volume 3. So I'm curious to see with the future omnibus volumes how they're gonna like cut them and how they're all gonna look. But so happy I read this right away after I got it. And I just love this story so much. So it follows this guy here, the guy on the cover. He is in middle school, and the story starts in the middle of a soccer game. There are high school scouts at the game, and he has an opportunity to possibly be scouted and play on a high school team. But he kind of gets into a fight with the player on another team at the end of this soccer game and loses that opportunity. The scouts are disappointed in him, but there's another guy who's watching who wasn't there officially, like in an official capacity to be a scout. He was in the area for personal reasons, but he catches his eye, and after the game, he's just really disappointed to have let everyone down and lost those opportunities. But then he encounters this guy on the beach, and he kind of gives him a chance to show his stuff. And I fell in love with him when I was watching the anime, and I was like, okay, I have to get into this series. But this guy is actually the head coach of a youth team in Tokyo, and basically after seeing something special in Ashito, he invites him to come and try out for the youth league. So from there, the story follows Ashito in high school and his journey to play through high school with the goal of becoming a pro soccer player. There are a lot of really lovable characters as the story goes, a lot of good training arcs and different matches that are really exciting. So I'm already just really excited for the second omnibus to come out, and season 2 of the anime airs this fall, so really looking forward to that as well. Next I have an art book, and it is all fan art of Leon and Ada from Resident Evil. And I'm so impressed by this release. It has foil edges and, oh, you can't tell from there, but it has the flat lay binding, so super nice. But we just got this in the mail and it is just gorgeous. I'll just do a quick flip through of it. I'll have the artist social in the video description if you want to go check them out. But I'm glad we didn't miss out on this art book release when they announced it on, I think, Twitter. Because it is super nice. The art is beautiful. I like that one. Yep. So adding this to our gaming art book collection. Another book that we're adding to our gaming collection is this fan book that we had been really happy to find out about it. I think that we didn't know about this one during the pre-order window, and we picked it up from the leftover sale. But I'm really glad that we found out about it in time. So this is a Cloud Tifa fanzine project with art, comics, and little short stories, little fics. And the theme of the fan book is seasons, so it goes through spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And it's such a nice release. I don't remember if I knew when we ordered, but it is hardcover. And just like the book feels so well made and just really luxe. So I'm really happy we were able to pick it up. And then we did get a bundle that came with some merch items that we have since put away, but I'll put up on the screen which ones we did get. But happy our little Final Fantasy collection on our shelf is growing a little bit. We did get another Cloud Tifa zine last year, so now we've got two. A couple figures that we got in the mail recently. Hancock's Look Up. She's so cute. So as soon as I saw that Hancock was getting a look up, I knew we'd have to pick her up for my husband. He's a big Hancock fan, and she's so cute. Her little outfit and her earrings. I love that detail. But she's just so cute. So we opened her up right away to get her on the shelf, and she's so cute. So happy to have her. So I have a few One Piece lookups I have 2 Sanji lookups and 1 Crocodile. I was thinking about getting a Zoro lookup so that I could have 1 solo Sanji and then a little Zosan set up, but I have yet to pick one up. But I believe this is the first lookup for my husband's collection. Outside of One Piece, I also have Toji, Kakashi. I think that's it. I think we only have a couple of lookups, so now we're adding Hancock to the list. And then we also had pre-ordered Sawako's Nendoroid from the series Kimi ni Todoke. She is so cute! So really happy that she got a re-release. Well, it's not a re-release. I guess it's a remake because she did have a release years ago. And then this one is a different design. But I really love this one, so I'm glad that I was able to get this one. Yeah, it says 2.0. But I like this one more than the original one. Some of her poses. I haven't had the time to open her up and get her set up yet. So she's just been waiting patiently in her little box. But I'm hoping to get her set up soon, and I know where I'm gonna put her on the shelf. I don't think I'm gonna put her with her books, but I'm gonna put her with like my girls. She can hang out with Tomo from Tomo-chan is the Girl and Kaori from Your Lie in April. Marin used to be with those girls, but ever since Gojo released, she is on her shelf with Gojo now. So Sawako will join them. I'd put her on her shelf with her books if Kazuhaya got a release, and then they could be like a little pairing. Or if another of the girls got a release. I really, really wish that Chizuru would get a release, but I kind of doubt she will. I feel like Kazuhaya would get a Nendoroid before she did, but had to get Sawako even if she's the only one we get from this series. And I'm excited to get her set up. I will make a reel when I set her up, and oh, she's just so cute. I love this series. It's one of my favorite high school romance series. And I don't really have that much merch for the series, just like postcard prints and a few larger prints. I don't have any like standees or figures, so now I have this one. Okay, back to the books. The next one is this seinen comedy series, The Hitman Stans. I have been loving this series. It is so funny. So the story this is the Volume 3 blurb, so maybe don't read it if you haven't read the first one. But the story follows this guy who is a really, really skilled hitman. His reputation is very, very famous in the criminal underworld and organized crime. But he is a huge, huge fan of a K-pop group, this girl in particular. And in the first volume, when he is able to go to a few meet and greets to see her up and close, she touches his hand and he feels really disgusting to have touched her with his hands that have been covered in blood, and the guilt over continuing in this line of work while he goes and cheers for her really upsets him. So in Volume 1, he retires so that he can get a more respectable job that will support him as he supports his idol. But then the people from his past continue to follow him through into Volume 2 and Volume 3. And it's just really funny the way that he acts in his day-to-day and when he's at concerts because of his demeanor and just the way he's lived his life up to this point. It does have a bit of the same vibes as The Way of the House Husband. A lot of the same like type of humor with the big gap in like the criminal side compared to what they're focusing on now. But for me personally, I really enjoyed House Husband, but some of the humor started to feel a bit repetitive. And I know this is only Volume 3, so it could take the same turn with this series that it will just kind of be the same gag over and over at some point. But at this point, I'm really enjoying it still. And there is a bit of an underlying plot to do with this girl and her family background. There's a reveal in this volume about a character we saw in Volume 1. And I was surprised. I thought it was a pretty cool little twist. But I am enjoying this series and we'll be looking forward to Volume 4. I don't think it's released in Japan yet, so I hope we don't have like a super, super long wait for it. Next is Volume 4 of Marriage of Convenience. And this one's, they've been changing the color for the title font, and I love that it's like foiled. But I was so excited when I got this in the mail because this is the first volume in the print release that has been mature. So the digital release of this series was on Tapas and Tapitoon. And on both platforms, there was a, I believe, older teen release and then a mature release. And I had been expecting them to go with the not mature release. So when I got this one in the mail and it was wrapped, I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm pleased. It's not like super spicy compared to the regular. So I did read the mature release when I continued reading this series digitally after Volume 1 released. I didn't know about this series until Volume 1 released, and then I enjoyed it so much that I went and binged the whole rest of the series digitally. But the mature version is not like super extensive with like entire scenes in them. It's just like a panel here and there that are a bit spicier than the not mature release. So I'm just pleased because I enjoy reading spicy romance between adults. So, and these aren't the main characters. These are the main characters. And I am a big fan of them. I really like this story. So, I haven't said anything about the story. Oh, and this is volume 4. So if you haven't started the series yet, probably don't read this blurb. But this series, oh, I'll show the back because they're the main characters. So the series follows these two, and this girl, as an adult, is kind of living a destitute life, is living on the streets, is going hungry, and she dies. And she regresses back to when she turned 18, I believe. And at that point, she was already married to this guy. But because of their age gap and the circumstances with the political marriage, they have had a strained relationship through the whole time that they've known each other. But when she realizes she has another chance to live out her life, she really just wants to make different choices so that she won't end up dying again. But I really love the way that their relationship develops, and their romance is so cute and wholesome. And even though she finds her husband super cold just because she's not close to him, he actually is such a caring and attentive partner. So I really love this series. I'm not planning on reading through the print release until a good chunk of volumes come out, because I did just read the digital release recently, like the end of last year, like maybe summer last year, I don't remember. But I'm planning to just pick up every volume that releases because I want to have this series in my collection. And again, just really thrilled that we're getting the mature release. Another political marriage story with an arranged marriage, and the main characters have a kind of strained and awkward relationship with each other. Under the Oak Tree, Volume 3 of the comic. And this one also has red foil. Oh, only on the cover though, not on the spine. But this release has been so gorgeous with the oversized trim, hardcover, just super, super luxe. Big thank you to Inklore for sending me this early review copy that I actually am planning on reading tonight. I have kept up with this series as it has released digitally, so I have read quite a bit of this series. So as I'm reading the print release, it is a reread for me, but there's something about reading, like for manhwa, a series that you scroll when you're reading digitally. It's really exciting to see when they're formatted for print for flipping pages. I kind of don't want to show any of the comic just in case there's spoilers if you haven't gotten to your volumes 1 or 2 yet. I'll just show this little spread. They're so cute. I love Riften. And Maxie has been growing on me a lot. She's so sweet and just like has had such a traumatic life. I am also reading the novels for Under the Oak Tree. I really have been enjoying them. So the novels for Under the Oak Tree are rated mature, and the comic is rated teen. So the comic is not spicy. I guess there are scenes that it just like kind of cuts to black and makes implications, but the novel is full on spicy. But I feel like I say this in every haul video. Whenever I read a comic that I like, when I find out that it has a novel that it was adapted from, I almost always enjoy the novel a little more because it will have more detail and more like inner monologue of the main characters. So it just is like a little extra than what we get in the comic. But then I'm such a big fan of the comic for this series because the art style is so pretty. So I'm really happy that they've been doing such a fantastic job with this release. The book itself is just so luxe. It just feels so nice, and then the print quality is super good, just really, really gorgeous. But this one will be releasing soon on July 21st, Volume 3 of Under the Oak Tree. Next is a GL manhwa series. I'm not sure how to say her name, but Sora and Haena. And this is Volume 1, so it's the first volume release, new series. It is high school set, and it follows these two girls who are complete opposites. They go to different schools. One has a bit of social anxiety, and she is the top of her grade at school. And she encounters this girl who is just very free-spirited, a social butterfly. And when they encounter, she has just told a big lie to the girls in her class that she has a boyfriend because she was trying to find something in common with them so that she could make a friend while she was in high school. But then it starts spiraling out of control for her because she doesn't have a boyfriend and never has. So she asks this girl, who is so outgoing, if she will help her to figure out how to find a boyfriend and how to change herself to be appealing to find a boyfriend. And she is only willing to agree if this smart girl will help her to prepare for college entrance exams so that she can get into college. But this was just the first volume, so just kind of getting into it, getting to know the characters, kind of setting the premise for the story. I'm looking forward to seeing where the story goes and how their relationship is going to develop. There is a male character that is introduced partway through, so I'm curious how his role is going to go as the story continues. But this series is completed at 86 chapters, and this first volume covers the first 11 chapters of the series. But Volume 1 releases next week on July 14th. Okay, into all of my BL. First, I have a little bit of merch for the series. Scent and Sensibility. So I'm trying to go through and collect all of the Season's Greetings merch that I missed out on because I only read this series earlier this year in January. So I picked up the 2 holographic tickets and the Team Lezen cards of them. And then I've been able to find, I think, all of the Daybreak merch now too. I was just missing these little chibis. And then I have quite a bit of merch from this year's Season's Greetings on the way, so I'm hoping I'll get all of that soon. I love my binder where I have all my merch. I've been sharing, like, whenever I get new merch in the mail, I've been trying to film putting everything in the pocket pages and kind of organizing my binder. So I did pull all of these out to share, and then I'll just go put them back in. But it's kind of fun filming when I put everything away and then giving a little peek into what my binder looks like. But these are my newest pickups for this series, and I have some more on the way. And then for my books, first I have Murderous Lewellyn's Candlelit Dinner, Volume 5. And this is a 6-volume series, so 1 more to go. We're almost there. I'm so excited to have this series complete in my collection soon. I think for the first 3 volumes, I was reading as the books released, and then for 4 and 5, I didn't read them because I have already read this series with the digital release. So I am planning, once I get Volume 6, I'll be able to read through the last half of the story. But I'm a big fan of this one. I really like Lewellyn. He's such a sweetheart, even though at the start of the series, he just seems like a total lunatic. But his backstory and just the relationship between the main characters is really compelling. I'm not sure what decade it's supposed to be set in, but it is a historical setting. But basically, the initial premise of the story, the main character, not this guy, the main character is kind of hard on luck and is having trouble with work, being able to find work as an editor. He lives in a crummy apartment in a bad part of town where there have been a lot of crimes and murders. But he meets Lewellyn, who is his neighbor, and finds him very off-putting and begins to suspect that Lewellyn is the serial killer at large. So that's just the premise for the start of this series, but it's really fun, and the first time I read this series, I did not expect to get so emotionally invested and the twists and turns that it would take me on. So really enjoyed this one, and I'm really excited that this series is almost completed. Next is Dangerous Convenience Store Volume 7. I am so happy that 7 Seas printed this for us because it is the side stories plus extras, like not extra chapters, but like extra content, like famous quotes, and then some bonus illustrations and Q&A with the author. But super happy that we got this in English print so that we could get the side story in English, but all that gorgeous artwork as well. And the main story ended in volume 6, so I was not expecting to get this. But I'm thrilled. So I'm overdue for a full reread of this story. It's been a while since I read it. But I love these two. So really happy about this one. As soon as I saw them announce it, I was just thrilled. Well, they didn't announce it, but it just appeared. It appeared on the retailer website, and I was like, oh my gosh, volume 7. But then I was really in anticipation to see what the cover would look like, and I just kept going and refreshing the page every once in a while to see when it would update with the cover illustrations. So really happy about this. Oh, I didn't say anything about it, but this is a spicy gangster romance story following a university student who works at a convenience store and this gangster who frequents that convenience store and the unlikely relationship that blossoms between them. Next is He Craves to be Teased by his favorite ASMR streamer. I love this one. So because of the title and the very suggestive illustrations on the first volume cover and the second volume cover, this seems so raunchy. Like it's gonna just be all smut and no story, but it actually is really sweet and kind of wholesome. The relationship that develops between these two, they're both university students. One of them is a streamer that had been making videos that had to do with gaming, but then because he got such a response to his voice, he made a separate NSFW account for ASMR. And then this is his classmate who stumbled upon his account and got addicted to his voice. But I really like both of their character arcs as it relates to like their confidence and the way that they interact with their classmates and their family members. But then in addition to that, it also is super spicy. So really enjoying this series. I read volume 1 the day that I got it. Volume 2, I read it the day that I got it. And I'm already really excited for volume 3 to continue this story. But I'm not really sure if this release is doing well or not. I keep just with volume 1 and volume 2 on Instagram, shouting really loudly that I really enjoyed this story, and I'm hoping that other people will pick it up and enjoy it as well. Oh, and then this author, this mangaka, I love her other series too, and I really hope that she will get more of her work picked up for English release. There's one other title that I like even more than this one, But then there are a couple others that I like quite a lot as well. So, and I love her art style. So hoping we will get more from her. Next is some book mail from Germany. So these are 2 books that I ordered from an author in Germany. She has her own online shop that she sells her books. In German, her books are licensed by a publisher, but for the English release, it's a self-published work for her. But this one is book 3 of a BL Omegaverse series that I've been really enjoying, and it's ending with this volume. So for volumes 1 and 2, I did buy the ebooks. I just wasn't willing to commit to the price for not just the books, but the international shipping from Germany in case I didn't happen to like the books. So for volumes 1 and 2, I did read the ebooks. And then for book 3, I was able to read a digital advanced review copy. So then while I was waiting for the release of this one, I did order the first 2 books. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on the merch bundles. So I got the merch bundles for book 1 and book 2, and then for book 3, when the pre-order window opened, I got the merch bundle and book for this one. And I also got a little chibi acrylic set of all of the main characters from the 3 books, and they're so cute. I have already put the merch away from this merch bundle. Okay, I just got my album because I already put the merch away and I don't want to film a separate clip of going through it. So this was book 1, book 2, book 2, and then book 3, book 3, and book 3. And this is my second Omegaverse binder. So my first Omegaverse binder is only Scent and Sensibility, and then this is a mix of a few different Omegaverse series. And then in addition to the prints, also this acrylic stand and this pin, which is really cute. This is like a logo of a business in the story. And then the little acrylic chibis, I did make a YouTube short that I showed all of those. But anyways, back to the book. So the series is called The Wrong Scents. Book 1 is The Scent of Glass. Book 2 is The Scent of Stone. And book 3 is The Scent of Water. Each of the 3 books follows the Barden brothers. All 3 of them are alphas. They're all very different, and their partners are all very different, and the dynamic between them is all different too. Like book 2 was an alpha-alpha story, and this one's an alpha-beta story. I'll put a link to the haul video when I got the first 2 books if you want to see me talking at length about those ones. But I really enjoyed this one. I am really excited to read it again from this physical. All of the physical book releases are hardcover. I have flipped through this since I got it because I had read a digital ARC. And I forgot that I hadn't seen the illustrations, so I just went through and looked at all the art pages because I enjoyed the story. This one was actually my favorite of the 3 books and my favorite couple. Though my favorite of the brothers is actually the brother in the first book, Scent of Glass. But I just really loved this guy. He works at a coffee shop, and there's quite a bit of like foodie content in this one, which I love. But these 2 meet in a club, have an almost encounter, but then are separated, and they keep thinking about each other and happen to re-encounter later at the coffee shop. And he realizes that this guy that he's been crushing on and thinking about already has a partner. And then from this guy's point of view, he has some things in his personal life that he has been dealing with. And then this guy is just really focused on his cafe and just really wanting the business to thrive and succeed, and also about his menu and coffee blends. So it's really fun kind of seeing all of the different relationships between the characters and how they interact with each other. I really like the disability rep in this book as well. And then there are cameos as well through the book of his brothers, which I love. And just like the other 2 books, the spice is quite good. Some of the art pages. And this is the enamel pin is of this logo. But yeah, so this trilogy now is complete in my collection, and because I haven't read from the physicals for any of them, I am looking forward to doing a reread and getting to enjoy reading from my hardcovers. And then if the art looked familiar at all, or if this looks familiar at all, maybe you recognize the author's art style from her series Bound, which is on Tapas. So I did read through the series on Tapas and enjoyed that story. And then I found out that there was a light novel that she wrote that focused on two of the side characters. And he was actually my favorite character in Bound. So when I was like, he has his own book, I wanted to read the book. So I picked up this book. I would have just read the ebook if I wasn't already making an order. But because I was getting The Scent of Water, I just threw this into the cart as well, along with this art print of them. I love this little design detail. Oh! So I haven't read this yet. I have read Bound. But I haven't. Oh, and this too. I just tucked these into the book when I got them. But, ooh. Okay, I had to check it first to make sure it wasn't a spicy illustration, because this one is rated mature, unlike Bound. On Tapas is not rated mature. I think there is a mature version of it from the physical release, but the digital release is not mature. So anyways, I feel like this will be a quick read because like compared to like the 400-page danmei novels I've been reading, this is a lot shorter, but I've been waiting to be in the right mood for this, as well as my TBR. I have a few danmei series I'm like really trying to get through this summer. But I am looking forward to reading this. I did enjoy reading Bound, so I really want to see more of his story and his relationship with him. So yeah, looking forward to it. Bound, Abjuration. I did have to look up what this meant, and I don't remember what it meant now, so I'll put it on the screen. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but here's a little blurb. But yeah. Here it is. Looking forward to reading it. Next is Volume 2 of Heaven Official's Blessing, the comic. And I love this cover. So I was really, really excited to read this when I got it because I read Volume 1 last year, I think in the fall, and I enjoyed it, but I hadn't read the danmei yet. And then this spring, I did a binge read of the danmei and enjoyed it. So then when I got this in the mail, I was going to just reread the last chunk of Volume 1 and then get right into Volume 2. And then I remembered that I didn't know the story when I read Volume 1. So I decided to reread Volume 1. And it was such a different experience, like knowing what happens at the end of the danmei with like everyone's relationships and all the different reveals. It was really exciting to reread Volume 1 and kind of notice those details that I hadn't noticed the first time. But then I got into Volume 2 and really enjoyed it. This was a review copy that Inklore sent me. Big thank you to Inklore. I didn't film a review video early enough to like announce its release, but it did already release this week, earlier this week. So it is already available to purchase. But as usual, it's a really stunning release. My copy got a little banged up in transit, but I'm okay with that because it was a gifted copy and I really appreciate that. I'm able to get early copies and enjoy reading them and gushing about them on Instagram and YouTube. So I did notice I compared Volume 1 and Volume 2, and Volume 1 is a lot more like glossy. This one is a bit more dull. Like it's not as reflective. But it's fine. I mean, I'm always just going to have it in the desk jacket. But anyways, this content, it just picks right up where the last one left off. Absolutely gorgeous art. Star Ember is so perfect for Heaven Official's Blessing. Their art style's so pretty, and they just capture all the characters' personalities so beautifully. But the iconic hay cart ride together is in this volume. I'm really excited for my husband to read this because he enjoyed Volume 1. We watched a little bit of the Donghua, and because he had read the manhwa for Volume 1 before we started the Donghua, he could not appreciate it as much because it wasn't as beautiful. So I'm excited for him to continue the story in Volume 2. I'm not sure if this is one that my husband would enjoy reading the danmei for or not, but of the MXTX novels, my favorite one was MDZS, and I kept thinking while reading that my husband would really enjoy that one, so I did convince him to start the danmei for that one. He has been going through reading several of my modern danmei series, like Soul Vibration, Year 2 OP, Silent Hearts, and then more recently he's been on a Infinite Flow kick, so he read Kaleidoscope of Death, The Earth is Online, Killing Show, and he's probably going to read Global Examination, but I might discourage him from reading it until more of the books come out because that one's been really slow to release. Oh, but I'm realizing that I still have my MDZS haul at the end of this video, so I will continue talking about that once I get to the merch. But for Heaven Official's Blessing, really, really happy to get this review copy, and just this release is so gorgeous. But I believe that this series was dropped because, unfortunately, Star Ember, from what I've heard, was the victim of bullying, cyberbullying in China from Heaven Official's Blessing fans that didn't like her art style, which is so unfortunate. I don't know if anyone's going to pick it up because it has been on hiatus, like indefinite hiatus for years. But this also happened with Little Mushroom, the manhwa. The artist was cyberbullied by fans, always fans. So then they dropped that project. I think it was picked back up by a different artist for a bit, and then it went on hiatus again. But I don't know all the details, but it's a shame. But I think we do have a good chunk of volumes that will release. I think I saw that the German release was like to volume 7 or 8 or something, so I'm looking forward to getting all of that. But I think that content-wise, for the amount of what's covered in the novel, I think it's only like the first volume and then into volume 2. So not a lot of the story is covered because the novel is 8 volumes. So it's only a fraction, like not even 25% of the story was adapted to comic, but happy that we're getting it in English. Okay, so into the rest of my danmei. Another historical series, Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, Volume 3. This one is going to be 4 volumes. Oh, probably don't read that. I keep doing that. Probably don't read that because it's the Volume 3 premise. But this one is a historical series with a little transmigration twist, but the story reads a bit different from typical transmigration series because it is not the main character who has transmigrated, but there is a lot of political intrigue, a lot of treachery, a lot of scheming. I haven't read this volume yet because I'm in the middle of a binge read right now of Remnants of Filth. Loving it, by the way, really enjoying Remnants of Filth. But I'm planning to read this month. I've been really, really excited to read it since Volume 2 ended. I feel like this cover is a big spoiler, but I guess I don't know because I haven't read it yet. But I've been really enjoying this story. I really like the main character. He is so kind of petty, but then all of the things he does, it's like, yeah, he should have, like, he's not in the wrong about doing those things. But the story kind of goes off in another direction after volume 1. Like, volumes 1 and 2 have a bit of a different vibe to them, but the story starts with a young man who wants to become a doctor. His dad is a famous doctor, but he's ordered by the emperor to marry a young master who has a terminal illness. So he has no choice. He marries him, and it's just a countdown until his illness takes his life. But his whole future is destroyed because as a male wife, he does not qualify to take the exam to become a physician. And then when he's widowed, he won't be qualified either. He will not be able to follow his dreams. So that's the premise of the series getting into book 1. But this has been one of the most anticipated reads for me for ongoing danmei series. So this one, and then There's Something Wrong with the Chief is the other one that just each release I'm just really eager to get into. So definitely recommend this one if you like reading stories with treachery and scheming and kind of slow burn romance, but like quite sweet and lovable, feisty characters. And then the next 3 books are modern danmei. So first is Psycho. This is a one-shot, so it's just this one novel, or this one book completes the story. And I was really eager to get this one just because the premise was pretty dark. I'll read the official synopsis for this one. College student Yezi agrees to a disturbing exchange of favors with a mysterious man who calls himself Hare. Yezi kills Hare's target, and Hare kills Yezi's target. Soon, Yezi becomes the sole focus of Hare's twisted, obsessive devotion, and Yezi discovers the lengths Hare will go to make him his one and only. So I was intrigued by that because I love yandere stories and obsessive characters. And then this one just starts off right away with that exchange they agree upon that impacts things further for them as they live with the things that they've done. I'll show the art real quick so that I don't forget, but the release came with this shikushi of the cover illustration, this bookmark. So these are the main characters. These 2, I don't know if they're supposed to be bookmarks, but they're short. And then cover again, and a little message from the author. So I got right into this one because I follow a lot of danmei accounts on Instagram, and I'm always getting spoiled about like manhwa and stuff. And I knew if I didn't read this right away that someone would post a spoiler and I'd be upset. So because it was just 1 volume 2, I read this right away. I read it as soon as I got it. And I guess like from the synopsis, if that does not sound like it's something for you, then definitely don't read it. It is quite dark and gruesome. I think ultimately this one wasn't really for me, but I do think that it has a really good story, and I was really, really impressed with the way that the author told the story by the end of the volume. There is a huge twist in the last like section of the book. So that really changed my view of things while I was reading, because I was kind of feeling kind of meh about it, like at the halfway, like through the second third of it. And I was like, whatever, I'm just going to see it through. I have a lot of trouble dropping things, and I didn't hate the story. I just was kind of, yeah, okay. Like kind of cliche things started happening, and I was not like super invested in the characters or the story. But then there's a big twist, and I was shocked. So the way that things kind of were wrapped up at the end, I was pretty impressed with the way that the author wrote and put this story together, but then ultimately it was kind of not for me. So I feel like this is one that people will really enjoy if this is their genre, and then especially if they can appreciate how things go. I'm really glad that I did just read this right away because like literally within a few days of reading this, people started posting spoilers, and then I saw people posting about how they were so frustrated that they were spoiled on this story. So if this is one you're interested in, I would highly recommend getting it right away and reading it before you see any spoilers. But anyways, I don't know what more to say than that because I don't want to spoil anyone, so I will just leave it at that. Oh, one more thing is that there is an extra in here, and I think it's so cool that there's a little afterword from the author, but then there's a chapter that they wrote for the English release, which is coming like years after the release in China, so I feel like that's kind of special that we got that. But psycho. Okay, next is Volume 3 of Silent Reading by Priest. I have been really enjoying this one. I read Volumes 1 and 2. I can't remember if it was last month or the month before. I think it was the beginning of last month. I read Volumes 1 and 2. And I enjoyed them. Murder Mystery. I assume it's going to be this way for the rest of the volumes. But I don't know for sure because I haven't read the rest of the series yet. But Book 1 and Book 2 each had a separate case that was investigated through the story, but from start to finish of the book was the entire investigation. And then the next book, there's a new crime that happens, and then the whole volume is investigating that crime, and then it concludes. And then Book 3 is going to have a different investigation that is gone through. But in addition to those crimes and investigations, there's an underlying plot relating to the main characters and their relationship and their backgrounds and their pasts. So I'm really excited to continue the story for that main plot line, but then I just also really love Priest storytelling. So I'm just excited to get into the next investigation and see what it's about this time. But the main characters are this guy who is a detective, and then this guy who is a young master. His parents died when he was a teen, or not his parents, his mom died when he was a teen. And then his dad right away was in an accident and has been in a coma since. So he's since become an adult and has taken control over the family company. But he has a strained relationship with this detective because he is the one who was working on the case when his mother died. But I'm really excited to see how the relationship develops, and like even in volume 2, there was a bit of like growth in their relationship, just starting to kind of understand each other a bit better. There has been no spice. This is a slow burn, but again, in the last volume, there was some sexual tension between them as well. I forget what the age gap is. I think it's like 8 years or something. But at this point in time, they're both adults. He's in his early 20s and he's in his late 20s, so looking forward to getting into this one. I haven't read I'll put the blurb up. Again, this is volume 3, so don't read the blurb if you haven't read the first volumes. But I'm not going to read this. I'm just holding it up because I want to be surprised. Sometimes these blurbs are like, and then this happens, and that's something that's not till like 80% through the story. So I like to be surprised when I go and read things. But this is another one I'm planning to read this month once I finish Remnants of Filth. Really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be 6 volumes total. So I'm kind of excited to have another long work by Priest. The other longer series I've read is Stars of Chaos by them, which is 5 volumes. So really loving this modern danmei series. And the last danmei is volume 5 of Run Wild. So one more volume to go for this one, and it'll be 6 volumes. I haven't seen any spoilers or anything for this volume or the final volume, so I don't know like what major things are going to happen or how things are going to wrap up. I'm really hoping that volume 6 will have a time skip of some kind so that we can see the main characters as adults, because this is a high school coming of age romance. It is pretty slow burn, and it's kind of a delinquent romance, but then one of them is a delinquent and the other one is really smart and a good student, but then is also like getting into fights, and like he's pretty tough and can hold his own. The actual romance between them has been really cute so far. though there are a lot of parts of the story that are just like really heartbreaking just because they're both still in high school and they've both gone through so much and just continue to like not be able to take control of their lives because of their ages and because of their circumstances. And then both of them just being raised in such different environments. I love how they complement each other, even though they're so different. And like to onlookers, it's just so weird that they even are friends with each other. But they both bring out the best in the other, and they each help the other to see the good in themselves. So I'm looking forward to continuing with volume 5. It does have very much like a slice of life feel to it while reading. And it's as much a coming of age as it is a romance. So I'm curious how romance focused the next volumes are going to be, 5 and 6. So don't really have too much to say about that, but looking forward to continuing with this one. And then it'll be ending soon. 1 volume to go. And I think there's a color page. So, Run Wild, Volume 5. And lastly, all of my MDZS stuff that I've gotten over the past couple weeks. I went on a shopping spree when I finished Volume 5 of the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I loved it. So I did a binge of all 3 MXTX series this spring. First was Heaven Official's Blessing, 8 volumes. Then The Scum Villain's Self-Saving System, 4 volumes. And then Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, 5 volumes. And I read through my physicals for the whole thing and had the hardcovers. So it was such a exciting experience for me because when I started reading danmei last year, I only read modern danmei. I don't dislike historical series, but I'm just not drawn to historical series unless it has tropes or things in them that appeal to me. But I would rather read a modern story with those same themes than a historical one. So even though I got into danmei last year, I did not read any historical series until the end of last year. And I wanted to kind of ease my way into MXTX because I had heard from people that the storytelling was kind of complicated and confusing. So I wanted to get a few historical series under my belt before I got into MXTX. And now that I've read all of them, I feel like it was really special because I kept thinking while reading that these 3 series are so loved by people because they're the series that people read first. Like most of my danmei friends, the first series that they read was one of these 3 series. So while I was doing my read through, I had a lot of people to talk to while reading all 3 series, and so it made the experience even more fun for me. I did make a post on my Instagram account where I ranked different things for the 3 series, like which series was my favorite to read, who were my favorite characters, who were my favorite side characters, my favorite ship, just different things like that. And I just did my top 3 for each category. I had been intending to make a video that I would post on YouTube as well, but I decided not to because I'm really, really bad at pronouncing Chinese names and just like Chinese words. So I opted to make a post instead. But on Instagram, I'm able to do 20 slides for photos. But in my community posts on YouTube, they have a max of 10 photos. So I wasn't able to just transfer that post over to YouTube, but I did leave a link in my community post to my Instagram post where I go through all of that. So if you're curious at all about what my favorite things were for all of these series, that's where you can find that. But I will give a little spoiler that MDZS was my favorite of the 3. I enjoyed all 3 of them, but MDZS was my favorite. And after I finished the series, I was holding back so much to not buy merch while I was reading it. But then as soon as I finished, I was like, time to reward myself. So I finally got all this stuff in the mail over the last week and a half. So I'll just go through and show each one. I got 2 acrylic stands. And they're both huge. And I'm trying to hold this in a way where I won't like make them fall out. But so I got this one. It's autumn themed with the little bunnies in the front. They're so cute. He has a little leaf on his head. And they look so beautiful. And then the background piece is just gorgeous. You can't see it because they're blocking it and it's not double-sided, but it has like the leaves trailing down. But it's just really pretty. And then he's holding some bunnies as well. They're so cute. And he's so happy. So yeah, I got this one. And then I got this one, which is more summer themed. It's like festival fireworks themed. With bunnies. They're barefoot in the water. So this one didn't have like a background piece, so it is less like on the shelf. It doesn't block things as much as this one does, but I like both of them. And then this one, each of them have their own acrylic, and so they kind of overlap. And I like how that's kind of dynamic. Whereas this one is one acrylic for both of them. So it's not as dynamic, and it's also like wider. Because like this one, if I measure, like they're the same height, but then this one is like this much longer. Not that it really matters. I just have them in front of my books. But so these two acrylic stands. And this one, actually, my friend had just got this one and had posted setting it up on Instagram. And I was like, that's so beautiful. And then when I was looking for standees, my top two choices were these two. And I was leaning more toward this one just because, I don't know, I felt like there was more like movement in it and I liked that. But then I was having trouble deciding because this one is really beautiful too. So I just got both of them. And then I also got this perpetual calendar, and I'm so happy that I found this because I've been searching for a perpetual calendar for years and I haven't been able to find one that I liked both the series and design as well as the like color palette. There was a shoujo one that I almost got, but it was brown and I just hated that it was brown, so I didn't get it. But that was the closest I got to finding one. But I put this here just because the numbers, this is clear. So it's kind of hard to see when there's something dark behind it. So I put this so that you can see the numbers a little easier. But if you haven't seen a perpetual calendar before, it basically just has different notches so that every month you can scoot it one way or the other, and it changes the order of the numbers so that for every month of the year, sorry, this is slipping, for every month of the year you can use this calendar without having to change it, without having to change calendars, and then you just adjust the numbers every month. But then it's MDZS themed. Oh, so cute. But I'm so happy I found this one. I love it. So I got this in June, and then I was all excited whenever I was changing it for July. I keep it by my bedside, and I have been using it. So really happy about that. The next thing I got was this modern day wedding bromide print. Gorgeous. I just saw on Instagram it's a postcard, someone who got this as an acrylic stand, and I got the second hand, so I didn't know there was also an acrylic stand, but I love it. After I finished MDZS, I went on a fanfic bender. And usually with historical series, if I enjoy this story or have a ship I really like, I will go and read a ton of modern AU fanfics because, I don't know, I just like have to do that. And I did it with them. I read, I think 19 fics in June. And my word count was insane. And I even calculated, so the average word count for each volume of MDZS is 95,000 words. And I think I read like almost 8 volumes of MDZS worth of fanfics. I loved them. There wasn't a single one I disliked. And then I had a couple that were top favorites for me. So I just felt so satisfied reading each one. But happy I was able to secure this one. Oh, they look so handsome. And then the rest of this is all from one of the drama releases. Drama OST. So there are 2 art books, a shikushi board, a paper merch, and then this one is also an art book, but it's like an autograph book kind of. And then this has the actual audio and just beautiful. I hope I can listen to them. I hope that they're compatible with what I've got. And then another illustration on this side. This is such a beautiful release. But this isn't everything that came in this drama bundle release. There was also an acrylic kind of music box, as well as like rubber charms and a couple other things. But all the listings that had everything were really, really expensive. And the main things I wanted were these 3 art books. So I was able to secure this bundle and got the audio as well. And then it also came with this. Look! They're little chibis and bunnies. So cute! Came with this. The shikishi, or artboard. And then this one, I love this design. Ah, they're so cute. And they have the little ribbons. So this one has art in it, but I believe it is like a lyric book. Okay, I have to move these. I keep bumping them. So it has art and lyrics. Gorgeous. And it's been exciting to see different art styles too for them, because I did get the Posh Geras art book or poster book, and I love their art style, but I'm glad that I have some variety too. Like with the books themselves, the hardcovers, the cover illustrations are by Ruthie, gorgeous, and then the inside illustrations of MDZS are by a different artist. And then I have the poster book, and now I have all of these illustrations that are so gorgeous too. So this little chibi art book, it's so cute. But it's kind of like a drama AU, kind of like crossing the, I forget how to say it, crossing the fourth wall. Because it's like he's reading his lines. And there's that karaoke. But the art is so cute. And then I think that these are like autographs of the voice actors. so cute. I just like every time I've flipped through this so many times, and just every time I'm just like squealing over how cute all of the art is. I love this so much. More autographs. Love their faces, these little sweat drip. The cave scene. Cute. When they're teens. There's a little mic coming up in the camera right here. It's so funny. So cute. And then he's like listening to music on his phone. Especially after reading the Modern AU fanfics, I just love the little crossover of like modern and historical, where it's like they're on a set. Yep. But really, really happy I was able to secure this, because this is so little, but it's so cute, and I'm so glad to have all these illustrations. And then very last part of my haul for this video is the art book that came with the drama OST. And I'll flip through it. It's hardcover. It's so nice. It's so beautiful. And honestly, it's worth the expense because of just how beautiful the art is. Okay, I'm thinking about how to capture this best. Without bumping everything. I'll just do a full flip through real quick. I cried so much through the, I think, U City arc. So tragic. Devastating. Little paperweight. So I don't know who this artist is, but I love their art style. I wonder if this is a different artist that did like the in-between sections, because it looks a little different, but it might be the same artist. Oh, I totally forgot to continue. Well, I was flipping through, I should have continued about. Earlier, I was saying about my husband agreeing to read this. I had tested him out a little with the Donghua. We watched a couple episodes and he enjoyed it. But I noticed while we were watching that the content is covered so quickly in the Donghua. And a lot of things are kind of like breezed past. So I kept pausing to tell him in the danmei, this also happened. And there was more detail about this part. And he was like, okay, yeah, okay, let's watch it now. Okay. And then I kept pausing it. But I was like, you will like it even more if you read it. So he agreed to read it. And he started volume 1. He's kind of prioritizing some manga series that he wants to finish this summer. Like he has been reading Bleach this year and is really close to finishing that. So he's trying to finish it this month. And then he also wants to read Durarara this summer. But I'm really excited for him to read MDZS. But I don't want him to like get into it until he's ready to like only read MDZS, because I know he'll get confused, like with the different characters and the different like clans and areas. So if he's able to just like focus on that, then he'll not mix things up, which is why I like binging things, because I'm really bad with names, like remembering names. But when I binge something, then it all stays in my head a little longer. But this is all my merch so far for MDZS that I got. I'm so glad that I was able to find out about this stuff. I saw that there have been some other like drama box sets that have released, like audio drama box sets. This one was from China, but I saw that there have been a few from Japan too that have released. And I'm not really interested in like collecting all of the like audio drama CDs to listen to. I'm more interested in like any art or extras that come with them. So I'm trying to do research to see like what else I've missed out on. If you know of any art books, like MDZS art books, or even like fanzines or like fan art books, please let me know about them so I can hunt them down, because I just want to have as much of the art as I can, because I just fell in love with this series and fell in love with the main characters. I love them so much. So, yeah. But as far as my current read, I'm in the second half of Volume 5 of Remnants of Filth. Volumes 4 and 5 have hit me so hard, like, I've been crying a lot through the Time Mirror section. And then in Volume 5, the Jade Scroll, I cried so much in the prison scene. But I'm just really excited to see how things go. I keep having all these theories about, like, what's going to happen. And I was so shocked in Volume 4 and then shocked again in Volume 5. And I've got 2 volumes to go. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish Volume 5 tonight or if I might finish it tomorrow. But this week I'm planning to finish my read through. I'm really glad I haven't seen any spoilers, so I can just enjoy it from start to finish. I did do a binge of Air Hot earlier this year, and I really liked it, so I'm glad that I'm enjoying this other series by Meat Bun. And I did actually pick up Remnants of Filth Volume 7 when it released, I think last year, because it was a special edition, and I didn't want to miss out on the extras whenever I finally got around to it. So I'm really excited. I'm reading the ebooks for 1 to 6, and then when I get to 7, I'm going to read it from my physical. And the reason why I haven't picked up the physicals for Air Hot or Remnants of Filth, apart from their special editions, is because I feel like they're going to be the next series to get a hardcover release from 7 Seas. So I'm really hoping they are, and I really would like to collect both of these series. But I don't want to pick up the paperbacks and then have a hardcover release immediately after. So I'm just going to be patient. Like once I finish reading this, I'll have at least this book in my collection, kind of as a placeholder and also like a little trophy. It's kind of funny, like my books are trophies that I'm like, I've read this and I liked it. But yeah, so this is my current read, and once I finish Remnants of Filth, I have a handful of other novels that I'm wanting to get to, like the ones earlier in this video: Silent Reading, Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, Run Wild. And then the next big binge I'm planning to do is Ballad of Sword and Wine. And I know that one ends, I think next month the final volume releases. So I feel like it's perfect timing to do a binge of this series and be able to read right into the finale. So that's my reading plans for this month and into next month. So I don't think I have enough space to pull everything back on camera, so I'll just cut to my thumbnail for the outro. I'm really glad I was able to do this haul today because this pile has been stacking up higher and higher, and I really want to put all these books on my shelves. Really excited to read some of these new releases that I haven't gotten to yet, and then a few that I read right away and really loved. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these titles or if they're ones you're interested in too. Or let me know what your summer reading plans are. We've had so many great releases lately, and I'm thrilled to be catching up on old series and getting into these new series. But I hope you enjoyed going through my haul with me, watching me as I gushed about all my new books. But that's everything this time, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching!